Good evening. My name is Invisible Ray, and I'm here today, this morning, to discuss a rebuff to Lord John Heaton's latest video, which was talking about live music. Now, not everybody can afford live music. I'm not a big fan of live music. I couldn't give a fuck about gigs. To be honest, I've been to enough of them to make me realise that I'm either listening to a fucking backing track or there is not enough members. I mean, for example, I went to see Bananarama and there was two of them. I mean, it's not the same, is it? And the main one's missing. It's like going to see the Beatles and, they've got Elvis Costello instead of John Lennon. It's not the same. But listen, he's very upset my working class and my intellectual priorities because there is a time for a gig. There is a time for a gig. I know my wife would like to go and see certain people for whatever reason. And to be honest with you, when you go and see Daniel O'Donnell, for example, and the girls like him, you say, "Oh, who's Daniel O'Donnell?" Well, I'll tell you what, he fucking fills out the theatres up and down the country, because it's a corny Irish act. He's all like that. "Oh, and I remember your name from last time." You've never heard of the bloke. But that man's making a living like Julian Lennon could never imagine. Now, listen, this is the upsetting thing for me, because this is where Lord John Heaton has given up his paternal duties towards the working classes, the serfs underneath him, and he has dismissed me as the lowest common denominator. Now, here we go. Now, if I have to go and see a live gig these days, and I'll do this for my wife, but forget that. Forget my wife for a minute. Just let's talk about me. What could entice me to go and see a gig? Sex and drugs and rock and roll, probably. But no, what would musically entice me to go and see a gig these days? Now, I might want to go and see a fucking orchestra in full flow, doing even as low level as fucking Mantovani. I could go and deal with that. I could deal with that because it's real. It's happening. People are playing violins, long-haired people, pretty girls with lipstick on and, long dresses. And, I'd kind of dig that. Opera, I don't know. I'd feel a bit pretentious going to opera because I'd feel like, I'm not the right class. And they'd look at me like I wasn't the right class. This is the thing in England. You'd never get away with going there. People hate class leapfroggers. You just can't do it. You cannot go from one class to another and be accepted by the other class. It's just the way it goes. Money talks at the end of the day, but it doesn't. It does not give you the best table in the fucking restaurant. I'll tell you that much. You ask Lord John Heaton, which is why we're so upset with Lord John Heaton today. Hello, Emily Bowden, how you doing? Lord John Heaton has upset me so much. He said that if you're going to see a live band, he doesn't want to hear their greatest hits because. And he says, and I know that it's serving the lowest common denominator. Well, let me tell you, let me give you a bit of financial reality, Lord John Heaton. People only want to go and see what they want to hear. Now, and he also said, oh, sometimes they jazz it up a little bit. Well, let me give you an example. Now, say I was going to see Eric Clapton. Yes, you love Eric Clapton. Now, what would happen? Would you be happy or fucked off if Eric Clapton got to Layla and then he started singing that fucking unplugged version? Layla, you got me on my knees. Or he tried to replicate the original classic. I know which one I'd have. With or without fucking Bobby Whitlock and the bloke who stabbed his mum in the neck. I don't care. But I want that kind of authenticity. I don't want no bullshit. I don't want no bullshit. And listen, if somebody's just done an album, all right, okay, listen. You're young, you're fresh, everybody loves you, and you're doing your first album because you've only got 12 tracks on the album. That's all you've done so far. Then you release, you have to do the tour. Okay, that happens for the first couple of albums. Then after that, people want to hear the hits that established you. So that's going to take up a third of your show doing the back hits. And then you've only got a third of the show to do your new stuff. And that makes financial sense. Do you get me? Do you get me? It's not there for your fucking, it's like you said, Paul Simon lost money on the African Mambusa because he said, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that my way. Well, Paul McCartney knows if he don't do Live and Let Die, Band on the Run, Let It Be, Long and Winding Road, Eleanor Rigby, it's people aren't going to go and see the show. And even, look, if I had to go and see Paul McCartney tomorrow, I would want the Beatles songs. I would want him to sing Black. We're not in the state that he's actually singing at the moment. But if, say 1990, if I'd gone to see Paul McCartney, I would expect Let It Be, Long and Winding Road, Blackbird, Band on the Run, Live and Let Die. I'd expect the fucking hits. I would not want to hear My Brave Face. Do you get what I'm saying? There's nothing snobby about that. But don't you get it, John Heaton? One thing which really annoys me is it's only a fucking few of you. This is how out of touch you are in your fucking country estate. You don't understand. There's only a few of you cunts that actually want somebody to sing their full album. Let me ask you people out there, would you prefer to go and hear Elton John's new album, whatever that is, or would you like him to sing his greatest hits? And I'm talking about a time when the bloke could sing. And the same with Foreigner, Foreigner's Ghost. Anyway, yes, let's put that up, Mrs. Bowden. I can't hang around for long. I'm just so angry with fucking John Heaton. Lord John Heaton, you deserve to be stripped of your motto, Quo Vadis, Illuminus Anus. Do you know what I mean? Why? Why have you done this to me? I try and defend you. And I even tried to take your side with Bobby Whitlock, and you knew what happened. Just watch Bobby Whitlock's videos, and you defended that idiot. You defended him, and he's just getting worse and more senile. Anyway, like I said, I can't hang around for long, but I'm going to discuss something else later on. This is even more serious. There's a conspiracy about this Beatle Fest. Matthew Street, I know you're not going to go there anyway because you're too sensible to be sucked into this cult. Why are people... Oh, the only excuse we've got at the moment is that, it's going to be good to see everybody. Everybody, it's a good meeting place. Well, I'll tell you what, you just look at that video footage of the last time they all met up. There wasn't a half a lager between them. Everyone wanted to get away. There was awkward fucking gift exchanges. And the place was empty. They didn't even invite Billy J. Kramer for a bacon sarnie. You could have cut the atmosphere with a knife, and they're saying it's going to be great. Also, Patty Boyd is a bit fucked up in the head. She might not turn up, or they might trick you all into just saying she's here, but she's going to be via satellite. Now, how does that work with fucking autographs? Don't trust these people. Look, if you want to all meet up and have a few pints, just book a grotty hall, travel lodge next door, get your fucking rooms, tea bags, coffee, sugar, and a teapot. You get a teapot and a Gideon's Bible, all included in the price. And then you can go and get yourself a fucking shitty Beatle band. Hello, my name's Ringo and I'm from Beatles. Yeah, oh, my name's Paul and my name's McCartney. Yeah, you could get those American people making out their Liverpudlians, and it wouldn't cost you that much money. At a grotty hall, you could get a grotty hall, and you could party from dusk till dawn, and you could say, look, here's the place where the nerds are going to be, and you could say, Mr. Mayo, you're not in control of this. Fucking Kenny Michaels, you're not in control of this, but all the happening people are going to be there. Christine Summer going to get the red carpet rolled out for her, don't you worry. Anyway, let's just quickly read some of this. My Yellow Brick Road, yeah. Right, that's it. I've got to go. Bye.